Hi, this video will be a little bit different to the normal videos I record. We get to quite a few inquiries through our website or in our showroom about people that have had a Dyson V6 for a while. This model's been around quite a few years now, and what they want to know is it worth upgrading from a V6 to a V10? And really what they want to do is try and do some tests between the two, and clearly some of the tools will vary a lot. I'm not really comparing the different tools they come with because that's down to the individual model, like the animals, the absolutes, etc. But really what I want to do is try and compare the performance of them, which is the main reason you would want to upgrade to a V10. So they are charged up. Let's have a go. Really the first comparison is to compare the bin capacities of each vacuum. There's nothing more annoying than when you're doing your vacuuming and you realise your bin's full and you have to go and empty it. So on the Dyson V6 this has a capacity of 0.4 litres, and on the V10 it has a capacity of 0.76 litres. So it's almost twice the capacity of the V6. To be fair, that's really impressive. What we'll do next is we'll see the weight comparison. Now for this test what I've done is I've just got the handheld units, so there's no tools or accessories, so it is a fair comparison. And for the V6, the weight of that unit is 1263 grams, and for the V10 that is 1666 grams. So it is quite a bit heavier, it's about 400 grams heavier, and you can feel it, you can feel the weight when you're holding it. But really what we want to do, and I suppose really the main purpose of this test, is to compare the performance of them. So let's have a go. So just before I cover this test, I just wanted to mention about the cleaning of the vacuums. Now you might have heard that some of the vacuums in the Dyson range are not that easy to keep clean. For the V6, what I have done is I've provided a link to show you how to clean these properly, and the V10 I'll provide a link here to show you how to clean it properly. I won't really comment on that at the moment. What you can find is if you're going to clean either of them it can take some time. But anyway, now I've covered that, what I have got is I've got the crevice tools on both of the vacuums, and what I've got here is a glass of rice. So what I want to do, to really sort of test the performance of each of them, I want to see how long it takes to suck all the rice out of the glass. So I'll start off with the V6, and what you can find sometimes, if it's really under pressure, if it starts to get blocked at the end, then it can start to pause the vacuum in. So you might find that when we're doing this test. Now apart from a couple of bits at the end, that was 5.29 seconds. Now what I will do is I will give it another go, see if we can improve the time at all. So not quite as good, 5.86 seconds on that one. Let's give the V10 a go. So now for the V10. Wow, that was done in just over 3 seconds, 3.01 seconds. Let's see if we can improve that. So we'll just give this another go. And that was 2.22 seconds. So I think that's quite conclusive that the immediate suction on the V10 is quite a lot better than the V6. Now the other thing really to bear in mind that we haven't talked about so far is the runtime of each vacuum. Now if you have got a V6, you'll know that if you use it on the minimum power, if you're using it as handheld, then you can get approximately 20 minutes runtime. In reality, if you're using the tools, and especially if you're using it on the high power, that can be reduced to 6 or 7 minutes. On the V10 it is a lot better, so the maximum runtime if you're using it like that as a handheld on the minimum power, you're looking around 60-minute runtime. I did a test recently and we did get slightly longer than that. But if you are using it with the tools, and especially if you're going to use it on the higher power, then that can be reduced to say 15 minutes. but it very much depends how you vacuum, and what we always recommend is it's normally better to try and do it on the minimum power, really, to get the better runtime. So in a nutshell, you've got maximum 20-minute runtime on the V6 and maximum 60-minute runtime on the V10. So if you are thinking of upgrading it, then that on its own can be worth it. So for the next test, we're doing a floor test, and I've got 3 different things. We've got porridge oats, we've got rice and cornflakes, and I want to see which one out of the V6 and the V10 is best at sucking them up from the floor. Now you might notice I've got a slightly different V6. So it is still the V6, this is an absolute model. The main reason I've swapped to this one is that we've got the same head, we've got the direct drive cleaner head. That way it is a fair comparison between the two, because the animal version that I was using before didn't come with that type of head. So let's see which one's the best. So both of them will be on maximum suction. That's really the only fair comparison, and I'll try and do it at the same time, so it is completely fair. So we've got the V10 just here and the V6 just here. Let's have a go. And the next one to suck up are the porridge oats. And we've got the V6 here and the V10 at the back. Now this last test is the rice, and this normally can be quite a difficult one because it can push it towards the end sometimes. But we've got the V6 here on the right, and on the left here got the V10. So you can see both of them, after just one pass, they have both left some rice at the end. The V10's left a lot less, but clearly if you were to go over it again, then it would get all of that up. So I suppose just really to summarise between the two, if you've had a V6 for a while, or even if you're thinking of buying a V6, then the performance of these are actually still very good. Compared to the V10, clearly the V10, the runtime is a lot better than on the V6. It doesn't matter which model you've got, this is the absolute, even compared to the animal one that we've got. The maximum runtime on the lowest power is up to 20 minutes, compared to 60 minutes on the V10, and also the capacity of the bin is almost twice as big as on the V6. So those two factors alone, for the majority of people, are enough to persuade them to buy the V10. But this was just really a test to see whether the suction is that much better for the extra investment. And personally I have to say that yes, it is, because although the rice test, both of them did okay, they still left some rice at the end. The porridge test was certainly better on the V10. If you go back and have a quick look, then it left some residue for the V6, whereas it didn't really on the V10. And also when I did the glass test, where I put the rice in it, the ability to pick the rice up, the whole glass, was a lot quicker for the V10 than on the V6. So I know it's a big investment if you are purchasing one of these, but I'd certainly recommend it, and I say they're well worth it. So I hope you enjoyed this video on comparing the V6 compared to the Dyson V10. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe on a YouTube video, and leave any comments below. If you are thinking of buying one of these two, then I have provided some links below to show you where to get them at competitive prices. Thanks very much.